And we're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, goddesses.
It's so very good to be here.
It is. It is. I always look forward to these chats.
Me too.
No matter the situation here at the time we start, it's always woo. We're done.
The goddess is ready to talk through us.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Ooh. And the only way out is through. Is our message today.
I really have enjoyed exploring with this goddess. I'm going to let you share more, Paige, before we get into our own experiences with her.
All right, I'll try to read a little bit of her story. One year, a valiant and heroic man named Theseus went into the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur and end the sacrifices. Adrian, how are we pronouncing your name? Ariadne, Adrian fell madly in love with him and gave him a sword to kill the Minotaur and a ball of red thread so that he could find his way back out of the labyrinth and into the light. Her message is that our courage is always in some way rewarded when we seek to end an unnecessary pattern or routine that is no longer serving us. Even though we initially created it in the effort to keep us safe, it can feel as insurmountable as facing a horned part man, part beast that lives in a dark maze inside of us.
Wow.
Pure terror. But the soul always wants our freedom. The divine is what liberates, not confines.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty powerful message.
Yeah. I mean, being stuck in that labyrinth, that maze can be really scary. Like, how do I get out of this? And there is a monster chasing me.
Well, so how do you apply that to life, right? So how does that a story, that expression of this goddess, how does it represent itself in our life, right? So for me, it represents itself in relationships that we've gotten ourselves into, moving from a thought processes or a way of believing that is no longer in alignment with the person that we are growing, into and opening our authentic heart to, right? Really honoring who we truly are. It could be being in a job that's, this is the way you go. This is what you're supposed to do. It could be, parenting. It could be anything. Right. So as always, we want to bring the essence of this goddess message into the sphere of understanding of how it applies to our lives.
Right.
And
No, I was just thinking, and what I read and how it was said, even though these patterns we may have set up for ourselves to keep us safe, and it worked at some time. So it's not like this,
but it's no
horrible
longer
thing.
Serving.
It's just it's not. Right. It's not working anymore.
Well, and anything that you've done, is never right or wrong. It's what you experienced. It was the choices that you made, and the choices that you're now ready to make are different. They're not the same. And so there's an evolution, there's a growth, right?
Right.
So that whole, like, being in the dark and not knowing where to go and feeling like you have a monster chasing you down, like, that's a really real feeling whenever you feel stuck, whenever you feel like you don't know how to maneuver out of a situation that you're in. And it could take months or years even to come to a place of, I'm ready to make this step, but it's okay. It's perfectly fine, because it's where you were and what you were ready to do at the time you were ready to do it. So how do we access the courage and the power and the knowing of what to do sooner, right? So those times that we spent like years in turmoil trying to make that decision, and then you look 10 years down the road and you see it's not taking you that much time anymore because you've done the work. and said, I'm not going to allow myself to remain in situations that are not healthful and wellful for my life.
Right. And I keep thinking about how long ago I would have been, tell me what to do, tell me what to do. I don't know what
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
looking
Somebody help
outside.
me. There's got to be an easy way out of this. Always
Yeah.
always looking for the easier, softer way, which
isn't bad, but also
bad. I mean, who doesn't want to
yeah,
live through life in ease and comfort? But sometimes you do got to walk through the fire.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to make hard decisions.
Yeah.
Difficult decisions, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and so that's when you feel like you're in the dark, and then you don't know which corner is going to lead you back to the light. Well, the answer to how do you get to those is to go within. Mm-hmm. Her message is telling you, you have all the answers already. You know what to do. The only thing that might be keeping you in the dark is your ego and the fear attached to making a choice. Mm-hmm. So by having practices that take you inward, that allow you to really listen to your heart center and to spirit and to your soul's call to action, that's how you find your way out of the labyrinth. That's how you find that red thread that's going to lead you home.
Right. And how empowering is that too? I mean, to really draw from within and create that path out, and that somebody didn't have to tell you what to do.
Right.
And that it is uniquely, genuinely your inner guidance.
Yeah. Because we all have a GPS system. We all have one. We just shut it. We didn't shut it down. We were taught to shut it down. So this is that same thing. We have to unlearn or reconnect or reintegrate to that GPS system.
Yeah. And, I was also thinking about this sand artist that I have befriended and who's out there almost mornings. His name is Trey. He's a lovely man. And I was watching him today. I took a little video of him, of how he creates this mandala that he, it's some kind of a labyrinth, if one would want to describe it as that. But he starts with something in the center, and you can tell that there's something inside him that wants to come out, but he's can't quite, he's not sure how to express it. Like, okay, how's it going to be today? Yeah. And he'll look up at where the sun is coming up, and he'll start to do, and then he'll stop, and then he'll look at the sun coming at the horizon. Wow. Like, okay, let me tap into this. What is this showing me? And then it comes through his designs. It's a really interesting process to witness, and he just does it with such effort. I mean, if I went to draw even a circle in the sand, I mean, it would be all kinds of wonky. It would just
but it would be beautiful and magical because it would be your soul's call.
Well, that's it. Symmetry is not my
it's not mine either. but I'll still go draw a mandala in the sand any day of the week.
and then the joy of watching these two little boys that I've seen growing up on the beach since they were babies. I've been watching for the past 3 years, and one of them just toddling in and following along and finding such joy in, I think I need to go here. I think I'll follow here, and I was thinking,
that's great.
Find the joy in walking that labyrinth, really. Yeah. Like, here's something to discover. It doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah.
It can be whatever you think, the freedom you're going to have when you've walked through all of that, right?
I love that. That is a really great point there, my dear friend.
I don't know, that just came to me.
Freedom, the freedom of exploring, the freedom of trusting in the steps that you're taking. I will tell you, I have been talking about this with friends and even clients. There was a period of time here between about mid-May to my birthday that it felt really dark. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much change. There's so many things happening. And we had a huge shift that happened in our household with my son graduating. And there's this like, well, what do we do now? What do we do now? Like, how do we do this? Like, how do we function? We have an adult child in the house. It's very overwhelming. And so I definitely felt a lot denser and a lot quieter in regards to hearing spirit. Like I was like, I'm just not feeling connected. Like what's going on? I was feeling very in my human self versus that normal balanced space of being a little connected and a little human, you know, having that like teeter totter that goes on, which is what we want.
Yeah.
But we also have those moments that we get dense and we have to go, okay, there's something here for me to learn. There's something here for me to gain from this. And what I found, because we were also in Mercury retrograde.
Oh, that's right.
And we were in my season, we were in Gemini season. So there was just so much energy there for me. Mm-hmm. But as we got closer to my birthday, all of a sudden the spirit started like, think, like dropping these, either I was having dreams or I was going, okay, I'm going to take action on this thing. Even though this guy was like, well, you can't do that. You don't have the finances for that. You don't have this. I mean, literally everything you could think of, my brain was telling me no.
Right.
But my heart was telling me yes.
Yes.
And because of that thread. And because of the work that I have dedicated my life to, I said, okay, heart, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you. And it's been 2-3 weeks now since I made some pretty significant decisions.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how magical it is to trust and then to see the abundance that automatically begins to show up because I said yes. Within 24 hours, abundance showed up. And now here we are 3 weeks later and it just keeps showing up. And I'm like,
showers of blessings.
But it's about being in the dark and trusting that the light is still there.
Yeah.
You're not alone. You're not without a direction. You just have to let go of the need to see it sometimes. Mm-hmm. And just trust that everything you need is available to you always.
Everything is always working out
mm-hmm.
in my favor.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's not what I want. It may not look the way I want it to look. However, it will be in my favor.
That's right.
So, yes, goddess. Yes, goddess. Yes, goddess. Oh, Paige, thank you so much. I feel so much more abundant with energy today because it's been very, very busy 24 hours. And I'm grateful for the abundance of time and energy that I'm putting into my craft and into working with clients. And I always walk away from our chats feeling like renewed.
Yay.
Goddesses, we love you. We cannot wait to see you next week. We have our new moon session.
Yeah.
And on the 21st, we will have our full moon session. And keep your eyes out. The Journey with the Goddess is coming back.
Yes.
Well, we're going to come up with a date and a goddess soon. So keep your eyes out for that. And we're going to have a little fun soon. So beware. We have a little fun activity we're going to create for you. So with all of that being said, thank you as always for sharing in this journey with us, and we'll see you next week.